Alright, it is a Friday, 10/22, 9:28 a.m. DWACW is making some really cool moves, and I'm probably not going to be trading this or buying it, shorting it. No, none of that. Definitely not shorting it, but I don't even think it's shortable on Schwab anymore, which is pretty interesting. It's not. It's definitely going to be something I'm going to watch just to learn its price action and continue to get better at stuff like that, especially because this is a listed stock. I just want to learn from it. You know, this isn't an earlier version of me would be beating myself up because I missed it, should have saw the run out, I would have made back everything, and then on top of that even more. No, it's just something to learn from. Maybe in the future I could tackle something like this, but I know it's going to take me screwing up this type of pattern a whole bunch of times, not being there when it happens, and then looking at it when it's happening, and then fumbling when I'm trying to be there in the pattern while it's working, and then eventually I can try to nail one of these, kind of like BTZI. I still have a lot of room for improvement. I'm going to watch BTZI. I don't necessarily want to trade it. Even if it does another 20% drop, I might not consider it anymore. It wasn't even that nice the first time, but sometimes they do look nicer afterwards, a few days after. The whole morning panic bounce play, whatever, just the entire setup. I will have a watch on the other watch list if any other OTC that has been running recently has like a nice drop for morning panic bounce play, but I'm going to keep it simple. Friday is normally the day I tend to have a red day the most often because I try to push myself to trade something dumb because it's the last day, and I gotta do something before Monday. I'm gonna try to keep that in mind and not do anything dumb, but I will be looking at morning panic bounce play setups and DWAC. Alright, it is 9:36. I tried 2 times with ILUS. I didn't get executed, unfortunately. 1 entry, 2 entries, actually the same minute, 9:33, which was this candle right here. So the idea was in this case is that it's a nice potential panic because it did drop, I think 17% at its lowest, and it did break below this 35 give or take level right here, which was pretty significant. Had this nice drop. VWAP wasn't really that bad in terms of distance from the bottom, and this is the type of thing where it kind of breaks an important level like 30 cents right here. Very briefly it breaks it, has a little downtrend, and then it catches itself. So when I saw this price action, when I saw that I didn't have much room to downtrend further, that's when I tried to take a buy, and I put 1 at 295. So while it was still at its bottom and it looked like it was trying to turn around, there was some support at the bid. I tried to take an order. I noticed that it kind of blew past it. It wasn't going to probably be filled, so then I tried one more at 2987. And I didn't get filled there. Immediately it kind of bounced around. That's too bad. ILUS isn't really one that trades nicely, but this was very clean looking, very clean. But in general, you can see how it kind of stutters in its price action. There's probably maybe some manipulation behind it, but I mean, it just means I didn't get any of my money, and I was trying to trade just a small $300 position, 1,000 shares, because I know this thing isn't necessarily the best in terms of these runners, but at this point I will be considering it for maybe like a higher low, maybe a double bottom, ideally not a lower low because it's going to then play off of this wick, I think, but it's right at VWAP. There's a lot of people on the ass. You can still break through it, of course. I'm not going to chase this. I think the way this one trades is kind of asking you to chase it. It's just not going to get my money, but if it makes a downtrend and it kind of looks like perhaps it's trying to do a reversal, level 2 reversal, or maybe it has like a little range it trades off of that gives a nice in theory risk level, I'll consider that. And the other one I was looking at, actually this one's failing now. That's actually incredible. TONR, I was interested in it. I guess I would say around right here. I'm not sure actually anymore. I think it was this candle when it had the wick, and I was thinking about it at 24, but then I thought, oh, you know what, it might not work out. That's totally fine because it kind of spiked up a bit too quickly, and I didn't want to necessarily chase it. I didn't like how VWAP was also close to the range, the bottom of the panic. But it could have worked out, you know. It could have definitely have worked out, but I didn't trade it because, again, it just kind of moved too quickly. In theory, I missed it and I didn't want to chase it, but it looks like it downtrended some more, and maybe it's going to try to play off of 12. Maybe it can try to hold there, but this isn't really, you know, the best case for me to be interested in terms of a morning panic bounce play on E-Trade, which requires me to trade a larger size and commissions and all that stuff. So I'll definitely look at this. I probably won't trade it, but you know, I'll definitely look and learn from it. That's what I have for right now. There's no other stocks I've been looking at for morning panic bounce plays. Alright, it is 9:56. I got wrecked on this one because I just traded you know, a larger size. E-Trade charges commissions because it's not tradable on Schwab, and on top of that, this one I didn't actually risk my level properly, which would have been 19. I just didn't want to do it. But the problem is that this one trades it actually trades worse than ILUS. It trades like really disgusting trash, but it did I guess in theory turn around, right? I went in at 121,953. This sucks, but 121,953, and then I sold at 954 because it just looked so crappy. Because it went to 124 and then it looked nice, and there was a big like million share bidder on the bid, and then he was wiped out, and then it kind of downtrended, and then it fell off to freaking 120, and then the bid in the ask started looking like trash, but it did uptrend. This would have been a nice sell at 124, and I also got a partial fill. I was trying to get more shares, and that would have been more ideal. But yeah, just the way this one trades is so gross, but that's fine. It's a pump and dump after all. It's not a real company, it's a carcass. So I guess I should be thankful for even having the opportunity to trade something like that. But yeah, it really sucks, dude, because it was a $20 loss. Now, in theory, I only lost like 14, but E-Trade charges commissions. If anybody knows a broker that can trade like OTC like stocks without paying commissions, that would be awesome. Like besides Schwab, because Schwab doesn't allow trades on this one. But yeah, dude, a selling at 124 or even 126 would have been nice. If I had risked my level better, you know, risking 19 breaking, I probably would have been able to sell for a nice profit or at least break even. I just need to trade better. You know, the opportunity was there, but the way it traded was disgusting. But if I again played off of a risk level, I would have been a lot better off. So yeah, that really sucks, but I think that's a great lesson for me to learn. And this thing still trades all weird, but there was definitely opportunity to try a nice setup and be profitable in it. I'll make an update and see what this one does eventually. BTZI keeps falling. I'm not really interested in this one again for a tsunami type panic. Perhaps it can do it though. If it looks like it might do it, like an inverse head and shoulders, I'll consider it. But other than that, I'll probably just stay away from it. ILUS eventually broke out, never put up like a lower low or a higher low or a double bottom, so I never really traded it. Yeah, that really sucks. Today is not really my day. That really sucks, but that's fine. GBHL is a first day green day stock. It's a wash. I'm not necessarily trying to trade it right now. I don't like the price action to do something like that, but yeah, totally probably, yeah, I definitely deserved that with TONR, and I have to trade better, really. I could have had a chance to sell at 123 or 124 for a profit. I mean, it does trade disgusting, but still, I'll keep that in mind in the future if I consider TONR for morning panic bounce play, that it just trades disgusting. But I think I could have done better too. It's not just that the stock's completely disgusting. That really sucks, dude, but that's a great lesson. Alright, it is 10:02. I just want to make an update because I did some math. Even if I were to have sold at 123 with my entry at, so I guess it rounds up to 121, I would have made only $12 after commissions. And this thing trades really badly, so I think I might actually just not consider trading on E-Trade anymore. And if it's something I can trade on Schwab, that's great, because I just don't like the fact that you know, I have to take these larger losses when I trade on E-Trade because you have to pay like $14, $15 in commissions. Technically, this is how much I lost. You know, technically, right, I only lost $6 in terms of the actual stock and position size, which is actually really nice, considering the size I was trading there. But you know, to add commissions on that, and then it rounds perfectly to 12, not 12, $20. That feels like crap. I think I'll probably stay away from trading on E-Trade. There's this guy, I forgot your name, I think it's Obby Trades. I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. If you're watching this, seriously, don't trade on E-Trade or TD Immediate Trade that charges commissions for OTCs. Like, I can't imagine what it's like to have a break-even trade and then you lose because of commissions, or even a profit, but it gets taken away because of commissions and your size wasn't large enough because you weren't completely failed, or maybe you just weren't trading large enough, and then you have to push yourself to trade a large size. Just don't do that to yourself, man. Although, you know, that's only with OTCs, so yeah, this thing, I should have probably stayed away from it, even though it's looking nice and all. It just trades all ugly, but that's a great lesson. I think I'll just stay away from trading on E-Trade. It's not worth it, you know, on some of these setups, because you know, I worked really hard for that other trade yesterday with BTZI, and then you know, you have a commission loss with E-Trade, and then it kind of makes it feel really stupid. So that's a great lesson, and I'll just probably stay away from E-Trade until I'm trading perhaps large enough size that it doesn't matter a little $14 commission, because I'm trading, like, in theory, maybe a or at least a $5,000 position, $10,000, and then it won't matter that much. But for now, yeah, I'll probably stay away from E-Trade just because it does that. Kind of really messes you up when it wasn't really all your problem. So yeah, I also probably, again, should have just traded better, risking off of this. In theory, my risk level was this 19 level breaking, but still, then, you know, E-Trade really multiplies your losses and how you feel about the trade. That's a great lesson. Alright, it is 10:19, and I tried a short ILUS at 33.71. I was 10.16 right here, and I was actually just a few seconds late because maybe like right when my order went through, it kind of broke under and got to this range, and then it had this wick down here to 33. It would have been just a tiny $100 position in theory short, just to really practice it. Just saying that maybe it has that morning panic bounce play right under VWAP, breaks VWAP, and then it kind of downtrends because of the fact that you know, this thing is like potentially the number 6 pattern, and you know, it could also just continue the uptrend like nothing happened. But that was an attempt there, and that would have been something I'd probably still be holding and risk off of this 34 level breaking out, but that hasn't happened, so I'm just gonna leave it be where it is. And you know, in theory, if I was in the trade, I'd probably, like, again, I'd probably still be holding it, but you know, it can totally not work, but that would have been the idea there. Man, I'm still salty over that freaking trade with TONR, but that was just a good lesson. I just went too large on something I had to go large because of the fact that you know, it's a stock that I can't trade on Schwab, so it has commissions, and then I trade a larger size, and then this thing is extra choppy, and then I didn't risk appropriately to my risk level. A whole bunch of lessons, a whole lot of mistakes there. And I even actually, I guess it's on the other screen, but I actually did the math just to really confirm. Dude, on that trade, let me see, I only lost $4.37 in terms of the actual, like, dollar loss off of the stock. I only lost $4.30, but it turned out to be a freaking, you know, I know these are still small numbers in the long run in theory, but you know, from $4.37 to 20, that's not something I want to be doing. So yeah, seriously, That really sucked. I'm probably just gonna again stay away from E-Trade. I don't want to make this just an E-Trade rant because a lot of this was also my fault, but I just shouldn't really do these things on E-Trade. You know, until maybe later when I have more experience and I'm trading better in theory and I'm doing larger size. But yeah, it's still trying to hang around here. I mean, it can do anything at this point. It can continue the uptrend, but that really sucks. But yeah, that's what I have for right now. Alright, it is 10:50 a.m. and yeah, just I haven't traded anything. I feel like my mindset isn't really in the right place, at least for right now. If not, I just won't trade anything else today. But this thing did work with ILUS. Now I'll be honest, this thing took way longer than what I would have liked it to, but in theory, excuse me, not in theory I would have been short at that 33.71 level, right? 500 shares. It did break, and I would have been covering here at VWAP. Now it might have been, you know, something that could have continued the downtrend, but I would have been happy covering there. It is trying to uptrend now, but you know, there's a chance maybe it'll break under it, but that would probably be asking for too much, and that would have been a small size in theory if I were to have covered, let's just say 3225. Right, that would have been 161, and then I was trying to be short at 33.71, I believe. Yeah, so that would have been like $7, but that would have been a great, you know, just practice trying to set up that, you know, I'm not that familiar with the number 6 pattern in theory, shorting the bounce after the morning panic bounce play, which I tried again here twice. I didn't get executed, but yeah, that would have been kind of cool. BTZI is continuously downtrending until it didn't with this crazy price action. Everything's trading kind of crazy with the whole thing with the Trump stock, right? This one's looking crazy. The warrant is not looking as crazy, but still crazy. And then we have other ones like right, PHUN, I believe. I think PROG was another one. They're all just looking crazy, and I don't necessarily like trading these crazy ones, especially if they start getting halty. But I'm just gonna keep on working. I'm doing different work. I'm doing other things now, but you know, definitely just a day to probably not just trade anything unless I feel a lot better and the setup looks a lot nicer on the potential perhaps OTC stock or maybe even a listed stock, but probably not right now. But it's nice to learn from all of this, if anything. Alright, it is 11:26 a.m. This was a scalp, 100% a scalp. Trading not DWAC because this one is stuck in a halt, and I don't like trading halty stocks, but the warrant version DWACW, that this was definitely 100% a scalp. But I felt like I saw an opportunity because it held 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. This 26, give or take 26.90 level, right? It was holding it, and I thought, you know, this could be a nice potential setup. So I went in at 28.69, so 28.70. That was 11.26. Let me get rid of pre-market just so it but now it looks kind of ugly. It doesn't matter. And this was on my day trading account. I didn't accidentally trade on my short selling account. Okay, 11.26 was right here, right when it looked like it was starting to turn around. Yeah, it was just holding this level, risking in theory this 27 level breaking, or I guess what's the low? Yeah, 27 give or take breaking, and I'm in at, you know, 28.69, and I barely held on to the trade. It started to immediately work, and I sold at 30.59, which was right about, I guess right about here at the very top, near the very top, not the very top of the green candle, just because it looks like it's trying to turn around. And I traded a tiny size. I traded a, what is this? Really, an $86 position. And I made almost, I made 6.5%. I didn't really get almost 7%. And now it's at 33. Let's just see what my 3 shares would have been. Now at 33.10, that would have been 99. And then my entry at 86, so it would have made $13. I sold too early because it just looks like, you know, it doesn't have to turn around. Listed stocks are jumpy, they're crazy, freaking big red candles, green candles in this case. We did have a freaky candle right afterwards. This was a scalp. You know, I had that risk level sure at 27 breaking, but you know, I clearly sold early. You know, it was a very scalpy trade. I made $5. And at least now I get to finish the day not over 20. So like over 20 down. Now like 15 something. So that helped a lot. Yeah, I mean, considering how easily I made money here, because I don't have to trade commissions, right? It's a listed stock. And then you look at some crap like TONR, which, you know, at least did the move, although it was choppy as crap. And then I trade on E-Trade. I lose only $4.37 on the actual position, but then with commissions it brings it to $20, like $16 of commissions. That's so dumb. I'm just not ready to trade on E-Trade. I also didn't risk properly, but mainly if I was just trading a $500 position, I would have probably held it a lot better, because, you know, I would be less, you know, nervous, less shaky, because it's not a position that's really outside of my range, trying to make up commissions on E-Trade by trading larger. Even though the setup was there, it was like a nice setup, but it was choppy too, and I didn't risk properly. So I just need to keep my size down in the meantime, unless it's something like BTZI, which like is a really nice setup that I was ready for yesterday, and that one didn't even play out that nicely. But that was a great example of when I should trade a larger size. But the thing with TONR today, that was pretty bad, but that was, again, a lot of good lessons. Still kind of salty, but I did at least I feel better that I'm not, you know, down 20 on the day with this trade right here. And as for ILUS, yeah, it did get towards VWAP. Again, I would have covered here. That would have been my goal. It's still failing, but I mean, it can do whatever it wants at this point. It's a sketchy symmetrical triangle being formed. 33.20. I missed out on like another $6-7, and I traded a tiny size of $86. That's crazy. Just because it held here for 4 candles, you know, right near its lows. I mean, a lot of range in this stock. I'll make an update later, but I'm really happy with this trade, even though this was definitely 100% a scalp, and I didn't have like a clear level to sell at. I just sold at what I thought was the highs, and it did downtrend the next candle. I kind of felt like something like that was going to happen, but it kept going, and now it's at 33, and it has a lot of room for potential. It's trying to hold this 32 level. This thing can break out of its range. It doesn't have to, but it can, and this thing can be like, you know, when it's in the 40s very easily. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I was definitely in the potential setup for that kind of profit, even with the tiny size that I traded. Alright, it is 12:45 and I want to make an update. DWACW 5 tickers long got as high as 46, which is VWAP. I'll be honest, there's no way in heck, even if I had like not the mindset of just a quick scalp with a small size, there's no way I would have actually have held towards VWAP in any way, shape, or form. But if I was looking, I might have considered the higher low here for sure. But you know, again, I wasn't really there, and it's nice how it kind of played off of this level too. Not exactly, but this one was a nice run from, I guess, 31.67 to 39, just straight up without any like crazy downtrending. And then it put up another higher low here at 36, and then it made a move towards 45. I think for what I knew at the time, I did my best there, and that was super cool. You know, just something that moves with that much volatility. And I don't want to do anything dumb. You know, this thing can continue to do more, and I feel like I know the patterns as it's happening, but I'm just probably just gonna just not do anything. And you know, I have a whole bunch of work I need to catch up with and focus on that. And then I think Monday I'll be ready to try again with a, you know, new mindset, more experience from just trading in general. Especially after that TONR mess, that was pretty bad. As for ILUS, it is trying to break under this range, but at this point I would have covered right back here at VWAP. So that would have been nice if I was a part of that. And DWACW, sure, oh yeah, I could have traded more size, whatever. I could have definitely sold better. That's one thing, but this was still pretty cool. You know, I hope I can continue to do better. I like the higher low here, and yeah, today was a pretty exciting day. I think I'll make an update later. I doubt I'll trade anything else, but I just might if something looks super nice, but I'm going to be too busy working, doing other things at the moment. Alright, it is 3:05, and I had 3 more trades, and I totally deserve it. But I think I learned a lot from this, and one thing that I really learned about something like this is that if you get in a position, like say you got in at 32.20, and you know, you think you want to sell, you don't have to sell, you know, immediately at the bid. You can place an order like right in the middle, and there's a really good chance that it gets executed. For something like this that likes to trade with a spread sometimes. But let's go over my trades. I tried 10 shares, and that was so the idea with this was that it could have been an inverse head and shoulder, head, and then we have like shoulder right here. But look how choppy and messy with this, kind of like TONR. Maybe I'm just not really good with choppy stocks, and I need to just probably not trade them until like they start looking clean, like it was back here where it was holding this level, which actually was pretty damn sketchy. But you know, this did work out in theory, that setup there. And yeah, this shoulder definitely it could still do it, but it's just a very choppy thing. Right now it's at 31.76 by 32.40, and what I'm doing a lot is actually looking at the other screen right here. This is the main one, DWAC, and seeing how it trades, because they're basically the same thing, but this is the leader, of course, because the other one is a warrant. I think it's just good to look at the leader here and try to learn from it and see how that could affect the other one, because that's the main one right there. So the idea is that, you know, it could be that inverse head and shoulders, and it could still do it. It's just that it's super choppy, and I'm not necessarily the best with that. My first one was at again, most of this wasn't really bad. It's just that I got kind of wrecked trading between the bid and the ask, because it would trade with a large spread, and then if it moves a little, you have to trade accordingly to that. But now I learned that you can try to place an order like right between the bid and the ask, and that will help greatly. Or just be a little patient. Maybe you're gonna place some risk, but it can try to hold itself together, and you can sell back at the ask, or maybe even for a slight profit. It looks like it's trying to do it again. Let's see how it looks on the other screen. I did not mean to move that chart. It's not looking that good, honestly, but this one can work out. It's just a bit choppy. So again, my first one was at 238 right here. 238, right when it looked like it was trying to work at 238, but then immediately, like after I got in, it started to not work. So then I cut the trade the next minute at right about, I guess, 230. I should I'll be back. I'm gonna make a new chart, the one that you can zoom in like on TD Immediate Trade, and I think that'll be better to look at. Alright, this looks a lot better. This is it, the shoulder, head, and then the shoulder. I should have probably have looked at TD Immediate Trade, because the chart looks so much clearer to read compared to E-Trade, which is like all ugly looking, but that's fine. In the future, I'll take that in mind. A lot of good lessons. Maybe I took an L today, but you know, I'm not out forever. I didn't do anything that stupid, but you know, definitely a lot of lessons learned today. Shoulder, head, shoulder. My first one was 238, which was back here. 238. So that was this candle right here at 32.56. So I hit the ask, and that was close to the top of the candle right there. And it looked like it was trying to turn around. We have that shoulder head, and then maybe it's going to play off the shoulder immediately, right? And I got here because it was looking like it was going to really do it, but then it rejected, right? The next candle, it even went up, right? It got to 32.71, which was a little higher. Again, this thing has a spread, but then it immediately started to look like trash, and I said, okay, this is pretty freaking bad. And I was risking this 31.67 level, give or take the bottom of this range right here. And had I have had it maybe on TD immediate trade, I would have saw it a little better. So basically, when it broke this level, I cut it in this candle at 31.50, which was give or take right about there. It did get as low as 30.95, which was another 50 cents. So that would have been another $5 of loss right there. And on that one, I lost 10. So worst case, it would have been 15 if I didn't cut losses and I got in at the very bottom. Or even the turnaround right here, that still would have been kind of sucky. But then I did try again. That was and I probably shouldn't have tried again, you know, so close in the same time period. That's kind of my problem right there. I should have probably done better. But the next one was at 41, right here. Yeah, is when I attempted to buy at 32, but I didn't get filled. And then it wasn't until 43 where I tried again. Let's look at 43, which was right here, this candle. Unfortunately, I got in at 32.25, so again, right about here in the middle of this candle at 43. And then I sold at 46, 43, 44. This sucked because, you know, immediately the next candle looks like trash. And I said, come on, is this really going to happen to me again? Like, the next candle, it just looks disgusting. And then I eventually did sell at 46, which was right here, because it looks like on the other the other stock, the main stock, it was going to break that support level. So then I cut it there, and that was at 31.04. So right about here. Did I really do that? Did I just do like a boomer mistake where I just mess with the chart? Yeah, so I sold at 46, which was right here at 31.04, which actually was a pretty good sell. 31.04 right there. And had I have done that thing again where I try, you know, putting limit orders between the two, or maybe at the ask, probably would have helped. But yeah, it just looked like it was trying to downtrend. And then the last one this one, I got in and out. You can see I traded a larger size here, but this was like the last one, and I got out at the same price. I should have traded the other two like I did with this one. And that was at 303. So right here, when it looked like it was trying to turn around, the big green candle, the nice green candle, I got in at 32.47, which was actually near the top. And then I sold the next minute at the same price because it just looked like it wasn't going to work. And it did head back to 31, and then it did get from 31 to 33, and I guess maybe in theory is putting up a higher low. But I don't like how this one trades, all ugly and choppy. And at any point the main stock could have had just a big red candle flash and completely wipe itself out, you know, and just really do the classic listed stock thing where everybody gets burned. And if you see this trend line right here, I was basing the last trade off of the fact that it looked like it was trying to break the trend line and actually reverse back there when it was at 302, and I had that sell at 304, because that was what it looks like when it was trying to break past this level right here, the trend line. But when it looked like it was rejecting, I got out, and that was a good thing. And then we do have the support level that it's trying to hold, but I mean, you can say this is a descending triangle. So I think a lot of lessons were learned here. Sure, I took a L, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like ridiculous amount of money. I didn't do anything that crazy. I didn't trade all my size or something dumb like that, but I still feel like I could have done a lot better. And I think even if it looks so clean to me, like it's really going to turn around this time, I'm just going to leave it alone and just learn from it, and then I'll be ready to retackle this Monday with all the lessons I learned today. A lot of lessons, like, don't mess around, probably at least where I am right now, with E-Trade setups, because I don't want to pay commissions, and that messes up the mindset. If you have just a tiny dollar, there's that big red candle. If you have like a tiny dollar loss, but then with commissions it turns into something a lot bigger, and then it kind of messes with your mojo, especially on the rest of the trades. Maybe if I didn't lose on TONR, or maybe if I nailed ILUS and got my order filled, I probably could have traded this one a lot better on that little section right there when it started to turn around in that previous recording, right? And then I wouldn't have maybe have felt salty and maybe tried again a few more times. But you know, at the same time, this is a choppy stock like TONR. I should probably stay away from choppy stocks too in general. Maybe if I get better at trading, then I can probably consider it. But again, I didn't do anything too dumb. I might be red on the week, if not just slightly green. I'll check, but a lot of lessons learned here. I'll make an update and see what this one does ultimately. I mean, it looks like it kind of just had these two red candles, but it's at least trying to hold this level, at least for now. Alright, it is 9:37, and I'll be honest, I took some time. I did a bunch of work, caught up with a bunch of things. I even played Team Fortress 2, and ultimately I ended up down $37.90, which sucks. It definitely sucks, but at the end of the day, that's not really that much. It's not like a day where I lose 60 or 100 or something crazy like that, but I'm still not happy with the way I did the last 3 trades. Those trades were pretty dumb, and I think I'm not going to be able to get everything in this. I might have forgotten some things, but just some notes I learned from today. Number 1, no more trades. I just don't want to necessarily trade them anymore because I have to do commissions, and then that pushes me to trade a larger size, and then I'm less comfortable because it's not really, you know, a setup I truly want to go large in, unlike the one with that tsunami type morning panic reversal, whatever you want to call it, set up yesterday. So I'm probably going to just move the money back into my Schwab account, and I'll just keep it there. And if there's a setup that I would like to trade and it's just not tradable on Schwab, it has to be on E-Trade, that's too bad. I'm just not ready. Maybe in the future when I do on average trade like $1,000 or $3,000 position very easily, commissions won't really matter. But I'm not that far yet. I'm not at that point where, you know, I feel comfortable trading that size like nothing. I'm more comfortable trading $300 to $700 positions right now, so I'm probably just going to stay away from E-Trade until then, if that happens, just to avoid, you know, putting myself in a situation I'm not really that comfortable with. Another thing to take into consideration, probably no more trades after 2 p.m. I think that will help me not try to do some dumb like degenerate day trading stuff, or you know, just something that might not really work out unless it's really ideal, like a V-type panic or something really clean. But yeah, this thing chopped me out right here, this little inverse head and shoulders thing. There's a lot of things I could have tried differently. And number 3, I guess, is just that I can try to consider, I don't have to, you know, especially on a choppy stock like this one, buy the ask and sell at the bid. And you know, because it also downtrended, it's a lot larger of a percent loss than what it could have been. There's really a whole bunch of things I learned today. I don't even remember all of them. Another one is avoid choppy stocks or risk properly. Some of these setups actually would have worked out, but because it's so choppy, I kind of got scared out of my position a little quicker than I should have. So yeah, look, there's just a whole bunch of things I learned today. I look forward to rewatching this. It took me a while to get back into this recording here to finish it off, but definitely learned a lot of lessons. And I'm still going to be green on the week, I believe. Just not as green as I could have been. These last 3 trades, they were pretty dumb. This one wasn't bad, but you know, I was pretty, I don't know, I should take it more seriously. I think, you know, I could have tried a larger size and I could have tried selling better, but that was a pretty good attempt. And yeah, these things right here, so many more things. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out, but just a whole bunch of lessons learned today, and I'm really thankful for that. And I still got, you know, a long way to go. It's not like I had a crazy loss day, but I did do some stupid trades, I think, especially these 2 right here. The last one I got a little better and trying to sell at the same price I bought at instead of just hitting the bid, you know, right after hitting the ask. This thing ultimately didn't really work out. It did get from 30 to 33, But that was very choppy, very ugly. And I guess another note is, and this isn't going to happen much, a super choppy stocks later in the day. Consider TD immediate trade charge. But again, if I go with that, no trades after 2 p.m., you know, I'm probably not going to even be in this situation anymore. Just a whole bunch of lessons learned today. It could have been a lot worse again, but a lot of room for improvement. I'm very happy that even though mentally it kind of sucks horribly, it was still a small loss dollar-wise, and what I make and lose in the beginning, I guess, doesn't really matter as long as I keep going on it. So yeah, gonna take the L, learn a bunch of lessons, and let's try to turn that into a W eventually, and just take things slowly. I'm gonna wire out money out of E-Trade because I'm just not ready to trade that size comfortably. So yeah, that's all I have there. Sucks to end it on this Friday. Fridays I'm most likely to end up red or at least do bad trades. Here's another example of that, and yeah, I'm just gonna call it off right here.